Welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast, where we explore all things books, business, and bullshit. My favorite bees. I'm your host, the fairy coin mother, Cinquanta Cox-Smith of www.cinquantacoxsmith.com. Now let's get into today's episode. Hey guys, welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast, season 6, episode 6. We have made it through the halfway mark, and life just be life. This week we have a rewind. Y'all know I keep it super real. There were about maybe 4 or 5 people that I reached out to for updates. I really want the updates to happen so we can gauge what has happened in other small business owners, not only other small business owners, but other Black women-owned businesses. So you can see that so many things can happen so quickly in a year. I cannot make anyone send me an update, but I do reach out to every single one of my previous podcast guests for these updates. I know you guys haven't heard, I don't think I've done I think I've only done 1 new episode this year as an interview, maybe 2. So you guys will hear those updates hopefully next year. But it's really been a all about me type of podcast season, but also really good information and about print on demand. I'm really already looking forward to the season finale, only because my season finale updates are always so intriguing, and I don't share everything while I'm going through it because I'm actively going through it, finding, solutions to make things better for myself. It's like, you didn't even know what's happening. I like to solve my own problems. I don't like to complain. I don't like to depend on people. And I do realize that is a form of isolation. And because I've been disappointed and, betrayed by people, I understand how I self-isolate from situations, people, life, things in general. So, but also at the same time, it builds my thick skin and it also allows me to get deeper within myself and to be able to come out of whatever hole or look at things from different points of view. And also it definitely makes me stronger. But when I get into that mode, I go into grind mode. And every time there's disappointment, betrayal, when I isolate, I always come out with something amazing. And my friend Gabby, she's always said this, she said, when you go through the thickest moments, you always end up turning it into something beautiful. And out of those lessons, out of those trials and tribulations, something beautiful and pivotal in your business always comes out of it. Just to know that when my back is against the wall, I don't panic, I prevail. That is a word for you guys today. But I hope you guys enjoy this rewind episode. It's a check-in from an exclusive Patreon episode for June of 2020, when we were kind of in the thick of the riots and everything else. I can't remember exactly what I talked about. We were fighting for social injustice and racism and the death of so many unarmed Black individuals. So I want to take you back to that moment. And then I was also in the middle of getting ready to move to Texas. There were probably a lot of things, good things happening, and a lot of stress related things happening. So we are 4.5 months away from 2022. And I really want you to just check in with your goals list, check in with how you feel, check in with friends and family members that you probably haven't talked to in a while, and just gauge and see where you are. See what is left for you to accomplish. See if there's a new goal that you want to start, okay? I am always a fall off the wagon type of girl, and I'm okay with starting over. This week, I'm starting over with my morning routine. I fell off with journaling. So I'm starting over. I'm making sure I am at least getting outside for a therapy. Therapy has taught me so much, y'all. And if I sound a little, I am a little sick. It's touch and go. I'm drinking a hot toddy right now at 9:58 a.m. Waiting for my doctor to call me back. Hopefully I just have a summer cold, But I'm taking all precautions and hoping that I feel better soon. This cough is nasty. Okay, it's nasty. So, you know what time it is. It's time for our rapid fire questions of the day. Let's get into the rapid fire questions of the day. The rapid fire questions is just some entertainment to provide me to loosen up before the episode. I think it also helps you guys to know me a little bit more because these are random questions that I do get to answer. So our very first rapid fire question of the day is, where is your happy place? And I'm at a toss between in my room and in my office because my office is like my creative space and I can just spend hours in here sitting at my desk and working on things, or it's in my bed where I can just lay there and relax and just be so calm. And it could be in the dark. So I think those are like a tossed up between my two happy places. The second rapid fire question is, do you have any reoccurring dreams or nightmares? So I always have a reoccurring dream of snakes when I was younger, not so much in my adult life, but I always have these army military combative dreams, and I'm just like, why? I was like, I left the army in my past, why do I have this dream? And I'm always like fighting in my dream or yelling at somebody. I'm like, am I that angry inside, or is it just all the things that I should be saying? I'm not really a confrontational type person, so maybe it's me internalizing all the things that I need to get out when I don't actually, do it in person. So I don't know. People would probably think like, girl, you're not confrontational. I hate it. I hate to argue. I'd rather just bop you upside the head and keep it moving. Like arguing to me and getting into it is a waste of breath. Like if we're going to do something, let's do it. Okay. So let's get into this episode. I'm super excited to just chat with you guys, see what you have been up to. And today we are going to talk about how to pivot just a tad bit, but we are all about the mid-year check-in. How you doing? I need to know, have you been struggling? Are you just keeping afloat? Are you treading light? Are you exhausted? What's going on? So quickly, I want to tell you guys that we've already talked about how to pivot right now in this industry. The first time we had to pivot this year was with the pandemic. The second time now that we are pivoting and restructuring our businesses through the, I'm not even going to say trend, but through the ongoing racial injustice in the United States. Can you believe that we are still dealing with racial injustice in the US? I just can't believe it. I can't wrap my mind around it. And I really want life to be different. I really want things to change, but at this rate, I don't see an end to racial injustice against Black people, against African Americans. So the only way that I've pivoted differently other than the pandemic, I was able to actually boost my income since March. I was able to pivot and create masks, and at the end of March through April, I was able to produce an additional t-shirt that was perfect for the movements that we have going on. But I already had like my Protect Black Women and Protect Black Men shirt. I did add additional stickers to packages that have been going on, but I did create two versions of an ally shirt. One that says silence is consent and the other that says white silence is white consent. I have been donating to bailout funds, the Unicorn Fund, and then the Minnesota bailout fund as well. I've been sharing, retweeting. I've been creating my gifts still. People have been using them. So that is the main way that I had pivoted. The additional way that I had pivoted was to get my top products on the sites that I had already been using, but not for my main brand. So Coins and Connection is basically on Shopify and Etsy. But even though I have TeePublic stores, even though I had Teespring stores, Redbubble stores, and these different sites, I've had different stores for different brands. I did not have the presence of Coins and Connections on this site. So within the past 2 months, I would say May and June, I have been adding my Protect Black Woman, Protect Black shirt, Why Silence is White Consent, Silence is Consent, and also some of my best-selling shirts onto these platforms. So I've been getting sales on stickers for Redbubble. I've been getting crew shirts and t-shirts on TeePublic, for Protect Black Men and Protect Black Women. So I was able to pivot and add my products on sites that I had already been using, but just not for that brand. So this is one thing that I want to tell you guys, that yes, you're on Shopify, yes, you're on Etsy, but there's no wrong or right way to just add your products, especially your top selling products, on other print-on-demand sites that basically host the website. So like Redbubble creates a store on their platform. You don't have to drive traffic to it. It's there and it's available. And if you're using your keywords correctly, you will be found, especially if you have products that cater to Black people, especially right now. People are looking for Black owned shops. So that is one way that you can pivot in your business. If you have a brand that is thriving on Etsy and hosted on your Shopify site, why not just go ahead and put up a few items on Redbubble, on TeePublic, on Teespring, and all these different sites. Draw more attention to your main website, because on all of these websites, you can put your actual domain name in the description box so people can filter back to your website. And I think that's amazing. The only thing that you don't have to worry about over there is when an order comes in, you don't have to do anything. You let them handle it. They will handle all of the shipping. And it's easier because people know, I bought this on Redbubble. They can't come to you on your Shopify and Etsy store and say, hey, I bought this on Redbubble. Can you return this for me? No, I can't. Because where did you buy it at? On Redbubble. Redbubble has their own platform on returns and things like that. So that is like one headache you don't have to deal with. Now, some of us may not have products that can go on Redbubble and Teespring and TeePublic and things like that. But if you have any type of graphic designs, if you have a quote or a saying or something that is tried and true to your brand, pop that shit on over to these other print-on-demand sites and let your money work for you. Let your products work for you. Let it bring in the residual income that you deserve. Okay, so that's how we're pivoting during the pandemic and during the riots and racial injustice. But one thing that I decided to do to help me with my mid-year check-in, it's June. We are super close, and next month, you really should be getting your shit together for Black Friday. You should have your system so goddamn tight right now, because I'm sure you've been running up those refunds. Have been dealing with more people than normal. We have already seen Black Friday type sales. Stores are increasing revenue and traffic. People are becoming millionaires during a pandemic, racial injustice, and during a recession. How fucking crazy is that? So one thing I decided to do for my mid-year check-in, I decided to say, okay, I've been writing in this notebook since December, since the end of the summer. So everything that I had planned, everything that I've been working on and going through is in this one journal. So I said, I need to go through this journal and I need to check and see what things that I started, but I didn't finish. What ideas that I had, but I didn't follow through on. So I did that, and I came out with a list of at least 30 items, and I wanted to scream like, oh, you've been working, but you have not worked on the things or published the things or created the things that you set out to do initially at the beginning of the year. So I just had to sit down, go through these pages, write the list. And then I went through the list again and checked off the things that I definitely knew that I was no longer interested into, or it no longer fit my business structure, or it's a great idea, but it's not great for me to do right now because of so many other things. So it's not saying I'm never going to do it, but the fact that I wrote it down, I can revisit it years later, 6 months later, but right now it's not smart for my business. So I started going through that list, crossing out things, putting question mark by things that I'm like, okay, maybe I'll check into this. And then I actually started going through the list and completing things. So within 3 weeks, I was able to complete 4 items. And then I told myself, girl, don't you add no more shit to your list. So I have definitely slowed down. Right where I am, I know what my focus is on the next 6 months. It's basically, excuse me, y'all, let me drink some water real quick. It's basically going to be the same things that I've already been working on. In my personal brand, I'm super focused on my courses and my YouTube channel. And then with my business, I'm super focused on my podcast and just selling my products. So those 2 things have been extremely important. And even though I want to write a book, I have one that's finished that I need to go ahead and wrap up. I did release 1 book this year, okay? So I released 1 book this year, and even though I probably wanted to release more, I may be able to get the other one released by the end of the year. But my goal was to get back to writing. I did that. I published a book in March. I feel super accomplished about that. I can't have it all. My other goal was to be monetized on YouTube. Right now, I'm about 500 hours away from being monetized. And hopefully by the end of June, that happens. So we have a few days. I don't know how many days we have left in June. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 1 week. And I believe that can happen because the 500 hours that I got happened within a week. Also, I was able to pivot on my YouTube channel and provide content that people needed because right now, Printful is shipping 6 weeks out. I was able to order from 2 other websites, get the sample in, and create 4 to 5 videos from that. And actually maybe 6 videos from that have garnered lots of views quickly because people were looking for an alternative. Printful was getting ready to ruin their business. They needed a way out and they were desperate. So I saw that not only did they need a way out, I needed a way out. I needed to find an alternative to Printful, and I did. And I have 1 more sample that's coming in from Printed Mink, so I'll be doing a tutorial on that and how to set it up. And people are coming to my channel now. More people are coming because of those videos, and they're realizing, oh, she's really dope. She got more videos about print on demand. All right, so we're going to stick around and we're going to subscribe. So I've been answering questions as much and as often as I can. So I make sure that I make my new subscribers feel welcome and let them know that I am present here on this channel. And I do respond, and I appreciate you for watching and checking out my channel. So I think that is just basically what I want to help you guys realize, that you need to go ahead and do your mid-year check-in. Check out that journal, comb through it, comb through your notes, everything that you've been putting on these to-do lists. See what you need to revisit, see what you can finish in the next. So thank you guys. This segment is called Q Money Bag Start of the Week. Q Money Bag Start of the Week and back to school shopping. It is here and it happened so very fast. Where did the time go? Our kids will be going back to school in a few days, and I feel like my wallets have been ransacked. I feel like I need unemployment. These kids' feet grow so fast, you know, they have their own style that we just don't even like, or we are like, why would you wear that? But I am trying to be patient because I know I didn't like my mama picking out my clothes either. But also my mama ain't have style like me, okay? So, you know, I know what I'm talking about. They often come to me to put pieces together. But I try to let them express themselves and, you know, wear kind of what they want to wear, push them to try new things. But yeah, shopping is exhausting. And the kids, my daughter, my 7th grader, feet is the same size as me. So just imagine me buying 2 pairs of the same sneakers. Like, how is this possible? How am I buying 2 of the same sneakers? And I know some of y'all may say, well, just let her wear your shoes. No, ma'am, she's hard on sneakers. My feet size ain't gonna change. So, case in point, when her feet gets bigger than mine, guess what? I'll have a whole bunch of shoes. So I have 2 pairs of my sneakers and then all the rest of hers that I bought because I like them too. Okay, so that's the game plan. So I wonder how y'all parents out there doing with the school shopping. How are you feeling about the new school year? I have not heard anything about virtual, so they gonna be up in that school. Them teachers gonna be teaching, and it's gonna be ghetto for a little bit. The virtual kids gonna come back and be like, what is this? And the kids who have been there was like, I'm gonna need y'all to fall in line. So it's gonna be a lot. We're gonna have to pray over these kids, and we're gonna have to take it one day at a time. I'm tempted to get a job at the school, because if somebody try my child, and then I'm gonna get fired and I might be in jail. But also, I want to say and take this time out to tell you, if you have not shopped recently for yourself, this is a reminder to go get that dress, go get those shoes, go get those sneakers, go get that wig that you've been checking out, go get your lashes done. Mama, go buy some stuff for you. You deserve it. You should get whatever your heart desires. Get that little freaking dress, that little black dress. Go out on the town with your girls. Take your man on a date. I'll make him take you on a date and pay for it all. I seem to have found my infomercial voice. So if you hear this today, make sure you go shopping for yourself. Until next time. Thank you so much for listening and subscribing to the Coins and Connections podcast. Don't forget to leave a review and join the conversation over on Facebook and Instagram using the hashtag Coins and Connections. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Cinquanta Cox-Smith and at Coins and Connections. You can shop all merch at www.coinsandconnections.com. I love you more than I love this podcast. Peace.